one of the greatest quarterbacks of our time. Obviously, he won the turkey leg, he won my heart, and he's about to break your heart in the fantasy playoffs. Oh, you go ahead, Dak, and eat as much of that turkey as you want. You earned it. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. Welcome back, fake football managers, to another manager's message.
Ha! Gay!
Week 12 is in the books. We only have 2 regular season weeks left. This current one and the next one. We still only have the top 2 teams that have clinched a playoff berth. It's going to be really hard for the 8, 9, and 10 spot to make their way into the playoffs. They still have a slim chance, but they're going to need to win both weeks, and they're going to need a lot of help from the rest of us as well.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Let's take a real quick look at last week's matchups, and then we will get into this week's predictions. First up, the biggest beatdown of the week, this 71-point annihilation that Simply Slats put down on the Deadly Venom.
I guess if you want children beaten, you have to do it yourself.
Only the Miami Dolphins defense broke 20 for the Deadly Venom. Trey McBride with 13 is a pretty decent day for him, but everyone else let you down. As for Simply Slats, Josh Allen with 45, Josh Jacobs with 25, and Chris Olave with 21 led the way for you guys, but the whole team showed up, 155 points. You know your team did work when you have that high of a score. Good job, you took out Jerry, and Jerry, if you want to make the playoffs, you're going to have to step it up a little bit. 84 points, that's awful.
That's no good.
Next up, we have the motherfucking Tumbles, putting a 27-point beat down on the South Park Cows. Now, the Cows had pretty good games from like 3 of their players. DJ Moore with 25, the Vikings defense with 18, and David Montgomery with 15 were all pretty good scores for you. But DK Metcalf, your quarterback, your kicker, those guys let you down.
Can I go take a dump?
For Tumbles, CJ Stroud has been amazing for you. Jalen Waddle showed up, and Wilson is continuing to do pretty good for you even without a quarterback. You got 129 with Jonathan Taylor having a big game on your bench, so hey, good job, man. And for Dave, I think this probably was the end of your season.
Uh-oh, spaghetti-o!
But not officially, you still have a chance. Next up, we have my Polk High Panthers putting a 26-point beat down on Hostile. I needed this win. This definitely hurts Hostile. This might have taken him out of playoff contention.
You're dead. You are dead.
And if I was him, I'd be pretty pissed off if I lost putting up 129 points. But when you run into the freight train, it doesn't matter how many points you put up, because it damn sure wasn't 155. The Polk High Panthers have been leaning heavily on Dak Prescott, and he has been giving us a lot of points. Dak led the way with 42 points, Bijan Robinson with 27, Michael Pittman Jr. with 23, Amon-Ra St. Brown with 18, and obviously the Broncos defense dropping a fancy little 21 points.
Right, right.
Now, Hostile was actually way behind before that Philadelphia game went on. Going into the fourth quarter, Jalen Hurts had 14 points. He ended up with 40, so that got him pretty close, especially with Eckler going afterwards. But Eckler didn't do anything. And with only Addison left, he probably wasn't going to get that 30 points that he needed to catch back up. Still a pretty good day for you though, Hossa. Jalen Hurts with 40, Deebo Samuel 21, and Sam Laporta with another big game again, 17 points. One of those weeks, we both had good games, but somebody had to win, and obviously it was me.
I'm so good at this, I don't even rehearse.
Next up, we have the Austin, Texas G-Dog Warriors and their 18-point victory over the number 1 seed Seminoles. The G-Dog Warriors handed the Seminoles only their 3rd loss of the season. The Seminoles had a pretty good game, but nobody really had a huge explosion. Keenan Allen had a big game with 25, Derrick Henry with 20 was great, but then everybody else kind of was a little lackluster. You want a little bit more out of Justin Herbert and A.J. Brown. Your team gave you a pretty good game, but just not good enough.
They are awful.
Now, the G-Dog Warriors had pretty good games from several of their players. Trevor Lawrence with 28, Christian McCaffrey with 33, and Calvin Ridley with 21 is not too shabby to lead all of your players. Cooper Kupp is still throwing duds for you. I feel you there. I have him in another league, and I just need some damn points out of that son bitch. But you picked up 127 points and a win without him, so I guess who cares?
Give me one up here. Boom.
And now finally we have Super Duper Wacky Razzles and their 12-point victory over the Dark Side Grey Wolf. This was a pretty close game. Both of you guys had a few good players and a few bad players. For the Grey Wolves, Patrick Mahomes, Raheem Mostert, and Travis Kelce really led the way. You probably want a little more out of Kelce than 15, but Mixon and Connor really let you down. That's probably why you lost the game.
Well, yeah, Dadoy.
The Wacky Razzles got a bad game out of Tua, but Tony Pollard, Tyreek Hill, and CeeDee Lamb really led the way for you. 111 points after only getting 9 out of Tua is a pretty damn good game, to be fair. And again, it didn't really matter because the team you played couldn't break 100. With that win, the Super Duper Wacky Razzles move within 1 game of first place and the Seminoles. So a Super Duper Wacky Razzle win and a Seminole loss this week will mean that first and second place will be swapped.
Hey, nobody cares. Nobody cares. I need that room.
First up, another battle of the 5 and 4 seed, my Polkai Panthers taking on the Austin, Texas G-Dog Warriors. Now, the Thursday night game was very, very good to the Polkai Panthers. Dak Prescott dropping 33 points, 3 touchdowns, one of which went to my tight end, Mr. Ferguson, who also gave me a great game with 19. The G-Dog Warriors find themselves in a 52-point hole, but again, I know that you have Christian McCaffrey over there.
Wait a minute. You ain't heard nothing yet.
I've seen that Trevor Lawrence is learning how to throw the football and putting up some big points, and Alvin Kamara is not going to hurt your team at all. So I know that you can easily make up those 52 points, and every now and again, Christian McCaffrey will do it on his own. That being said, the Polkai Panthers are out for blood. Dak Prescott is leading this team to glory. I will beat you, and I will move ahead of you in the standings to take 4th place, to finally pull myself up out of the loser's bin and smell what it's like to have a winning record. Next up, we have one of the battles in the basement, the South Park Cows taking on the Deadly Venoms. South Park Cows got a pretty damn good game out of DK Metcalf this week. I think he had the first Seattle catch of the game and it went like 75 yards for a touchdown. This is definitely a good start for the South Park Cows, who are looking to put a nail in the Deadly Venom's coffin. This is not a great week to have your best players on a bye. Devontae Adams, Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley, all on a bye for the Deadly Venoms.
Oh, I don't think I'm a lot dumber than you thought that I thought I was once.
I feel like that could not have come at a worse time, especially with the South Park Cows getting a huge game out of Metcalf. That being said, I still think this is going to be a pretty close game. You were able to replace Lamar Jackson with the designer imposter Lamar Jackson, so not bad. Like, Kyler Murray can give you some points. I'm gonna probably have to lean with Dave here, given he got that big start. So I do think this might be the death of the Deadly Venoms.
I'm dying.
Next up, we have Hostile taking on the motherfucking Tumbles. This is a must-win for Hostile. No win here means no playoff berth at all. The motherfucking Tumbles did have 2 players going. The Cowboys defense got him -2 points. That's pretty terrible. But the Cowboys kicker got you 15, which is pretty awesome, especially for a kicker. Currently, these two are projected to have a very close matchup. It's projecting Tumbles for a 1-point victory, so that's not very much.
I am really close on this one.
Haas is going to need a big 1-2 punch from Jalen Hurts and Austin Eckler. Hurts kind of has a bad matchup playing San Francisco. And if Tumbles can get Stroud and Gibbs to keep going like they have been, let Kittle get in the mix a little bit, he's got a lot of dudes that can put up big points on any given Sunday. For some reason, I feel like motherfucking Tumbles is going to win, but I'm going to lean with my boy Haas. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's going to do his best to dig himself out of this heap and have a shot in the last week to get into the playoffs. Probably not, though.
You chose poorly.
Next up, we have Super Duper Wacky Razzle taking on Simply Slats. Wacky Razzle also had a very nice Thursday night. CD Lamb with 35 points. That guy is ridiculous. And Tony Pollard also gave you a nice little 16. 51 points is a pretty snazzy little start to your week. Simply Slats is in a bad spot. He's down by 51 already, and his two best players are on bye. That's right, Buffalo isn't playing this week, so no Josh Allen, no Stephon Diggs for you.
I don't know, I give up.
You're going to have to do it with Baker Mayfield and Deontay Johnson. With 2 players going, he's already more than halfway to your projection. This is not the best week to lose, Simply Slats, but it looks like you're going to do it again. If Simply Slats can figure out a way to get a win this week, it will most definitely shut the door for all of the guys below him. And if Super Duper Wacky Razzles can finish this one out and get the win, it leaves hope for all of the bottom rung teams in the league.
What made you come around, Lois?
Alright, there you go, week 13 of fake football. I can't believe we've gotten so far. Only 1 week left after this of regular season football. Good luck to all the lower ranked teams. I hope you guys can get some wins this week to help catch up to Simply Slats. Definitely not to me.
You're incredible.
I know.
I hope that you all have amazing games. Well, not the G-Dog Warriors. I hope your team does horrible this week. But to everybody else, I wish you luck. And now here is your inspirational message.
We're the Ducks? Man, what brain dead jerk came up with that name?
As a matter of fact, I did. But I didn't have a choice. We're being sponsored.
By who, Donald and Daisy?
Hey, you don't want to be Ducks? You'd rather be District 5, some stupid number?
Better than some stupid animal.
I'll have you know, Peter, that the duck is one of the most noble, agile, and intelligent creatures of the animal kingdom.
But they're wimpy. They don't even have teeth.
Neither do hockey players. Have you guys ever seen a flock of ducks flying in perfect formation? It's beautiful. Pretty awesome the way they all stick together. Ducks never say die. Ever seen a duck fight? No way. Why? Because the other animals are afraid. They know that if they mess with one duck, they got to deal with the whole flock. I'm proud to be a duck, and I'd be proud to fly with any one of you. So how about it? Who's a duck? I'll be a duck.
Yeah, me too. Me too.